On the Pakistani side tonight is Air Marshal Abid Rao, Barrister Zahid Saeed from Karachi and Islamabad. From Islamabad, Group Captain Hali, and from Islamabad, former diplomat and executive director of CISS, Ambassador Ali Sarwar Naqvi. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I think one of the lines, satellite links, is just coming up out there on the bottom left of your screen. And on the Indian side tonight, Maroof Raza, GD Bakshi, General Bakshi, Maroof Raza and Sheshadri Chari of the BJP. Let's debate this tonight now. I don't know, Sheshadri Chari, if you've noticed it, but Pakistan is behaving very abnormally of late, which is an oxymoron, because Pakistan is by nature an abnormal country. But despite it, as I said at the start of the program, even by Pakistani standards, the behavior of late, something's not right. That's the sense I get. They don't know what they are talking about. They contradict themselves. Yes, you want to.
Abnormal and unnatural.
Yeah. Why do you?
And unnatural.
Why do you feel so? Why do you feel so?
That is because, there is no narrative. There is no narrative called Pakistan.
Right.
Their only narrative is anti-Indianism. Anything that is India is enemy number one. Don't give MFN status to India, most favored nation status. And that is translated in Urdu as Sabse Pasandida Mulk. How can you call an enemy Pasandida Mulk? That is the army's rhetoric. So they have been all the time confused about how to treat and how to deal with India. They have fought 3 wars with India. They have lost a full 1971 Bangladesh. They have lost, and they are in a confused state. And the political establishment is never stable in Pakistan, because Pakistan it's an army with a country. It's not a country with an army.
I
mean, the whole problem with Pakistan.
You see, Pakistan is a strange country. That we know. I mean, essentially it is a strange country. It's an unnatural country. It's a country which doesn't actually need to be there, but it's there, whether good or for bad, for the rest of the people in the world. Now, the question is, has there officially been a coup? Group Captain Hali, is it an unofficial coup? You have a serving Prime Minister who has fled the country to escape allegations of corruption. Right. So, please tell me, you have an army that can pack off a serving Prime Minister the moment he is vulnerable due to allegations of corruption. You have a diplomatic brass that does not know, speaks in different voices. One takes the army line, one takes the political line. So you might as well be very, very frank today and tell us, Group Captain Ali and our Pakistani panelists, because then we'll come to the Pathankot betrayal. What really is going on in Pakistan? Take us into confidence.
Well, Arnab,
take us into confidence.
I would like to, if you allow me. First of all, I would like to respond to the point that in Pakistan we have an anti-India feeling. Please go back to our elections which were held in 2013. None of our political parties had India on their manifesto. And in contrast, in 2014, when India had its elections, your current party, BJP, came into power because of Pakistan bashing. In Pakistan, we do not care about India. We have our own agenda, we have our own development projects, and we are not bothered about what India is doing. Now, talking about your doomsday stories, Arnab, I've been coming on your program for the last many years now, and if we go by your analysis, Pakistan would have been destroyed so many times. So please, our Prime Minister is sick. He has gone to the UK for a medical checkup. Now, don't read too much into it, and don't call it a soft coup or a hard coup and things like that. Pakistan,
so he fell sick. No, one sec. Well, I'm trying to understand this. Please listen. Ambassador, Group Captain Hali. Group Captain Hali, just 1 minute. Point is, we are going to come to, you are behaving in a very strange and abnormal way. And abnormal is actually a compliment that I'm presenting to you tonight. You are behaving in an erratic way, an unthought way, a childish way, an amateurish way when it comes to handling the issue of Pathankot. 2.5 months, Maroof, after they were forced to concede their involvement in Pathankot, right? Now your army chief starts singing again by accusing India of trying to destabilize Pakistan. So in the last 2 months, something has happened. And along with this has been the news that Nawaz Sharif's son and daughter have been caught stealing millions from their own countrymen and putting it in some offshore bank accounts. So you see these two things go hand in hand, Group Captain Hali, and unless you're blind, or you can't see, or you blindfolded yourself, you would have seen the facts. Nawaz Sharif has been kicked out of Pakistan or been told to lie low abroad for some time while the army does an effective takeover. That explains the U-turns you are doing in the case of Pathankot. Pathankot is a symptom of your disease. The response to Pathankot is a manifestation of the cancer in Pakistan's heart. You understand what I'm saying? So please, if you don't have the courage to accept the facts, then say we don't. But even a child is now beginning to ask Nawaz Sharif, and I'll show you that clip. In London, a child is asking Nawaz Sharif, when people are dying in your country, why are you hiding in London? So don't be under any false illusions tonight. Maroof wanted to respond, but before that, GD Bakshi. GD Bakshi, please. GD Bakshi. GD Bakshi.
You know, Arnab, I'd like to state that Pakistan as a state is becoming seriously dysfunctional. The problems are not episodic. They are systematic. They are systemic. The simple fact is that Pakistan has violated the central cardinal of a modern Westphalian state, where you have the state, the armed forces, and a disarmed population. The Pakistanis have weaponized their own civilian population. They did it for supporting the jihad in Afghanistan. Then, of course, they created a jihad factory. And now I'm afraid the pigeons have come home to roost. The Pakistan Army and the ISI, which created this Frankensteinian creature, are today confronted with something that is quite out of control. The way the Pakistani army has been deployed in Fatah, in Karachi, and now in Lahore, Punjab heartland. Please let our Pakistani interlocutors look within. What have you done to yourself?
No, it's so bad.
What Christine Fair calls
it's
an unending war, unending conflict with India. They have shot themselves in the foot.
GD Bakshi. Now let me tell you, and this is not even funny, but Abid Rao and Ali Sarwar Naqvi and Barrister Zahid Saeed don't take it otherwise. You know, we are concerned about your dysfunctional country. But you have in your dysfunctional country a serving Prime Minister who can actually be auctioned off on eBay for 62 lakh rupees. A person has put on eBay a sale. They say the Pakistani Prime Minister is on sale for 66,200 pounds.
Goswami,
66,200 pounds you can buy the Pakistani Prime Minister. And the person, I'm quoting the news report.
Rubbish.
The person who has, it's not rubbish, it's a reality. The person who has put him up for sale says he's a useless Pakistani Prime Minister, Nawaz Sharif. Used Pakistani PM Nawaz Sharif on sale. No longer needed. No box or instructions. Buyer must collect. Seller not prepared to touch him. Pick up from central London today. Address will be supplied on completion of sale. Buyer must arrange own transport. And it also adds, not in working condition.
Where is the debate? You are debating yourself.
No,
you're debating yourself.
You see, look.
You must give us an opportunity.
No, you can tell me tonight.
Yes, you're debating yourself.
I'm not debating. I'm debating with you, sir.
Who are you asking?
Yeah, you're debating
yourself. Abid Rao, you can take that.
Look,
Ambassador Naqvi can take that. I have no problem. Barrister can take that. Yes.
Let me tell you what is happening in Pakistan.
You sound very confused today.
This is your basic.
At one time you say Pakistan is an unnatural state.
Baba,
at one time you are talking about our Prime Minister being sick, being kicked out, being on sale. Third, you're talking about ISI takeover. I mean, why are you concerned about it? We have our own set of problems and we know how to deal with it.
We have every right.
In India.
We have every right.
Secular, you have a dirty face. You don't tolerate your minorities. You don't tolerate anybody who is now on the wrong side of the government. You have burned your own Dalits just because they belong to lower caste. I will tell you 10 unnatural things about India. India has never been a united country before 1947. There were these smaller states, princely, and thanks to the British, they united this by capturing all that. For God's sake, come to the point.
For God's sake, for God's sake, for God's sake, tell me, where is Nawaz Sharif? For God's sake, tell me, where is Nawaz Sharif?
Forget about that.
Why should I forget about that? If there has been a coup in Pakistan, we need to know.
Very sincerely.
We need to know if there's been a coup in Pakistan. You realize the strategic implication.
Commander Yadav apprehended, and credit to our ISI, credit to our army, they have apprehended him and 400 of his accomplices.
No.
Many of them are Indians.
No,
you will have many of these cases now coming up. You are not serious about anything. You want to bully Pakistan? That has been your desire since 1947. No. You can't do that. Yes. Pakistan is not Sri Lanka. Pakistan is not Bangladesh. We are not Nepal or Bhutan. You are not Israel and we are not an Arab country. You should learn to behave on equal terms with Pakistan. You are so thoroughly confused. You are mixing the political instability with Pathankot, with Maulana Masood.
Air Marshal Abid Rao, I don't understand about it.
Marshal Rao, listen. Marshal Rao, may I, Marshal Rao, listen here. I completely agree with you. You are not Sri Lanka. You are not Nepal. You are not Bangladesh. Right? I mean, these countries are developed countries compared to an antediluvian medieval bankrupt state like yours. So I agree we cannot compare these countries to you.
You are scared
now my point. Now I come to my point. Now I come to my point.
Your political party.
Now I come to my point. Now I'm coming to my point. If you have the courage, listen to my point. You see, we here in India, and Maroof can explain this in detail, we've been confused at your strange, erratic behavior. Now, that strange, erratic behavior, as I started, Maroof, by saying is, you put a bunch of comedians in government and they don't know what to do. They do Kulbhushan one day, they change their line on Pathankot another day.
Ajit Doval is a comedian, so is your commander Yadav.
Now listen.
You keep sending these people, things will never work out.
Now listen. We have been trying to analyze what is going wrong in Pakistan.
No, how dare you call our government comedians? Please be diplomatic. Don't call our government comedians.
His speeches are on record. Look at the internet. He has, whatever he has said about Balochistan, Pakistan, terrorism, Mr. Yadav has confirmed all that. No, it is on record. Therefore, I'm saying, I'm not casting allegations on Jawaharlal Nehru.
It's 1 second. See, we saw the irrational behavior from Pakistan on 5 or 6 occasions of late, right? And now generally it is being reported in the sections of the Pakistani media that Nawaz Sharif has fled for a short time. Now with Nawaz Sharif fleeing, the ISI effectively takes over. So Maroof, these two things match. All the erratic behavior, whether it be Kulbhushan, whether it be calling off the talks, suspending the talks, speaking in 3 or 4 different lines. The reason all of this is happening is because there has effectively been an ISI takeover in Pakistan for the last 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, we may as well have a candid confession of it, Maroof. If Nawaz has lost out to the ISI and that's the reason for what's going on.
Pakistan.
Sir, please.
Let me tell you what is happening in Pakistan. Listen.
Yes, Maroof.
I'll tell you what is happening in Pakistan.
After Maroof, you can
That's what you want to know.
After Maroof. Barrister zara Maroof ki baat
with respects. Sir,
I would like to tell you what is happening in Pakistan.
2-3 minute de dijiye, please.
It is a process of accountability which the public is doing. And this is very, very essential. It shows it is a mature democracy now. It can take a prime minister to court. 2 prime ministers were sent home by the Supreme Court. This means the law prevails. ISI, what does the ISI do? The ISI are a bunch of bureaucrats. They cannot take over the government. If there is a complete vacuum, only the army can take over. But they are committed not to take over. They are cooperating with the political government. But what Pakistan is doing today India will do tomorrow. They have also people who have kept their money abroad. And this is the process of democracy.
So barrister, listen. Barrister, listen.
What is this barrister trying to say?
Barrister, what's it? Yes, Sheshadri Chari. No, Sheshadri Chari.
It is appalling. This barrister, he is agreeing that Nawaz Sharif has gone out to London to save his money. If he is not well, and I wish him Godspeed as far as his recovery is concerned.
I don't make accusations.
But I have serious doubts whether he will be able to return.
It is not in my domain.
To Islamabad.
No.
This is in the domain of the Pakistani public. It is what they ascertain.
And don't tell me, we are not concerned.
Pakistani public?
We are concerned. We are concerned about how you treated Bangladesh in 1971.
Is it a subject of debate for India?
Of course it's a subject of debate for India.
It is a subject for debate. You are our neighbors. We want peaceful coexistence with you.
Yeah. See,
if the army takes over, we are worried.
Yes, Maroof.
Arnab, may I?
Maroof.
Listening to you people.
Barrister, listen to Maroof Raza now. Listen. Barrister, listen to me. Listen to Maroof Raza.
Barrister, the last time. Barrister साहब, दूसरों को भी बोलने दीजिए, please.
बोलिए.
Arnab, I just want to make a couple of quick points. And I want to draw a thread between all. Sir, please give me the courtesy of a few minutes. Arnab, I just want to draw a thread between all that you've brought out and how the connect established. The first point is that Nawaz Sharif, if he has gone to the UK, there are several reasons. One of them is very clearly apparent, is that there could be enormous amount of indirect pressure on him through Rawalpindi. In Pakistan's history, as in the history of civil-military relations all over the world, there are two types of coups. One is a direct military takeover, the Ayub Khan, Musharraf, Ziaul Haq type. The other is the indirect military pressure, which then gets the politicians to behave, as happened in the time of General Abdul Wahid Kakar. Many Pakistanis will agree with that. Now, what happens is that Pakistani people like to believe that they can take their politicians to task, but clearly the biggest arbitrator in Pakistan and its politic history has shown is the military establishment, and therefore they enjoy huge support and credibility in the Pakistani narrative. The second point to understand is that Nawaz Sharif himself does have a dubious track record when it comes to financial issues. Many people have talked about it. Even many cabbies in London have told me about that. So the fact is, whether he's corrupt or not, I don't want to use such strong language, but people raise questions about his financial dealings. And the Panama latest scandal is probably roping him in further. But sir, let me complete my point. Marshal Abid Rao raised a few points that why are we concerned about issues in Pakistan? We are concerned with issues in Pakistan, sir. And Group Captain Hilali also said, sir, please listen to me. Barrister, please listen to me. We are concerned. Barrister, please give me a minute. We are concerned with issues in Pakistan. We are concerned with issues in Pakistan because our government has invested in Nawaz Sharif. It has invested a lot of political and diplomatic capital in Nawaz Sharif. And if Nawaz Sharif is moved out of the narrative, then the entire narrative changes to the kind of obstruction that we are seeing with the Pathankot probe, which I thought in the very first instance was a bad joke. Because the ISI and the military establishment will never let the train come to their door because they initiated the attacks in the first place with or without Masood Azhar. And that is the reason why we are confused by what is happening in Pakistan and who should we bet on. Because always you have presented us with one central choice, that those who speak against India and those who bind Pakistan against India are the people who are the chosen favorites in your political narrative. Not those who want to have good relations with India. That is the tragedy of the last 68 years of our existence. You can blame us for it, sir, but look into the mirror and ask yourself these questions.
Maroof raises a very valid question, and the Pakistanis, Abid Rao, 1 minute. Abid Rao, here's Arnab here. Let me say one thing to you, Abid Rao, then you can answer the question as much as you want tonight, because I cannot agree more with Maroof. You have no business asking asking us, why are you concerned whether Nawaz Sharif is in charge of the ISI is taken over? We are concerned. We want to know whether Nawaz Sharif, we want to know whether Nawaz Sharif has left the country for medical treatment or has he fled? We want to know whether he's left the country for medical treatment. Has he been packed off temporarily? Has he been left the country for medical treatment? Then what is this medical condition? We want to know what he's suffering from. We want to know whether Nawaz Sharif has left the country for medical treatment or whether he's trying to escape further scrutiny over the Panama leaks. Is he trying to cover his tracks over revelations that his family set up 4 offshore companies in the British Virgin Islands and that these companies own 6 properties near Hyde Park? And because of these reasons, if Nawaz Sharif has been dumped, you have every reason to tell us whether he's been dumped. You tell us whether he's been dumped. We'll respond accordingly. But one second. But more than all this, Abid Rao, one last point. More than all this, Abid Rao, I can give you 6 examples today of your erratic, childish and amateurish conduct, which no decent, self-respecting, mature nation of adults behaves like in the last 1 month. Have you considered your behavior? Have you even considered the manner in which you're responding to situations? I mean, you are saying we did not provide you black corner notices on the Pathankot case, that we didn't give you the samples of DNA tests of 4 attackers, which is factually incorrect? How can you make statements like that without knowing your facts? I'm telling you, only a bunch of inexperienced generals who know nothing about running a government can behave in the way that the Pakistani government is behaving today. So, Abid Rao, I
agree with Maroof when he says
we will ask you
Nawaz Sharif in the peace process. I agree 100% with him.
No, you are making factual mistakes in running government.
By sending Commander Yadav-like characters to Pakistan. They are weakening the case of all people who want peace with India.
You should be concerned with the way in which you are behaving.
Come into
doubt haven't sent him, sir.
On India's intentions.
We haven't sent him.
Marshal,
even the Iranian ambassador in Pakistan has said that what you are basing your allegations on are rumors. We haven't sent him. The Iranian president dismissed your assertions as rumors. Now your Iranian ambassador in Pakistan says that he may have been kidnapped, and you keep insisting we have sent him. And if our entire diplomatic relationship is based on one alleged spy, I can understand the thin ice you are walking on.
Reason.
But for heaven's sake,
I
think we can invest in a better future.
Iran. Iran is innocent.
GD Bakshi. Now listen. Abid Rao, 1 minute. Abid Rao, 1 minute. Let's get Ambassador Ali Sarwar Naqvi also into the debate. He has not spoken. Now listen, Ambassador Naqvi.
Fine.
Ambassador Naqvi, just 1 minute. Can I ask a question to Ambassador Naqvi? Ambassador Naqvi, you're a seasoned former diplomat. You're executive director of CISS. You have some experience in the way diplomacy is to be conducted, the way that mature nations deal with situations. A mature nation, a sensible nation, does not behave in the way that Pakistan is behaving today. I mean, even to your own people, you are a laughing stock. One day on the 7th of April, your High Commissioner says talks are suspended.
How can you?
No. On the 7th of April, your High Commissioner says talks are suspended. On the 14th of April, the Foreign Ministry of Pakistan says talks are on. Right hand doesn't know what left hand is doing.
No.
Tweedledum and Tweedledee. What are we talking about? Do you understand, Ambassador?
In the first place, it is none of your business how our diplomats...
Of course it's our business. You're talking about talks with us.
Doing things. Who are you?
I mean, are you diplomatic illiterates?
Pakistan's existence. Who are you to say that Pakistan is an abnormal state? I mean,
well, it is. I mean, I can't do anything about it.
Hurling all kinds of accusations,
the world says it.
Speculations.
Barrister, the world is saying it. We are not saying it. The whole world is saying it.
No, one second.
Discussing.
Okay.
You are putting us here to be just whipping boys to be thrashed.
No, Ambassador.
This is ridiculous.
Ambassador, listen. Ambassador, please do not misunderstand our intentions. I need to respond to Ambassador Naqvi. Please do not misunderstand our intentions. Every right-thinking person, every right-thinking person is very worried about what is happening in Islamabad. You know, why did Nawaz Sharif stop over in Moscow on the way to London? On the one hand, you have Chaudhry Nisar, the Pakistan Interior Minister, who says that the Prime Minister suddenly felt so sick that he had to stop over in Moscow for a couple of hours instead of taking a direct flight to London. ARY News says that a spokesman of the Prime Minister's house says the Prime Minister's aircraft landed for fuel, and after a brief stopover, the aircraft will leave for London. So is he sick? Or is his plane sick? Does he need rest? Or does his plane need
sources
rest?
And media reports, we all know, are not always.
Arnab, can I please come in?
You said that the Pakistan has dismissed Pathankot investigation. That was a media report.
Sir, sorry, Ambassador.
That was not an official.
Ambassador Naqvi.
You go by media reports.
I don't go by media reports. Ambassador Naqvi, listen, the situation in your country is really bad. This is not just that it's a media report. You haven't officially denied it. Your government has not denied the Pakistan Today article which had quoted GIT sources as saying that the Pathankot attack was a means of vicious propaganda against Pakistan, and that India had failed to prove to the attackers that they entered from Pakistan. In the absence of an official denial, why should I not believe what has been put out in the media? So your ISI is going around planting these stories.
I have been a diplomat. We don't always address baseless and concocted media reports. That is not the way the governments behave.
Okay.
That is not the way your government behaves. That is not the way our government behaves.
Arnab, can I please?
Well, one sec.
Ambassador.
India who took up...
Yeah, Maroof is responding.
Adopted by the ISPR. All media reports in your country, sir, adopted by the ISPR. And if they step out of line, then they get shot at like Hamid Mir was shot at Karachi airport. So don't tell us that you don't believe media reports. We believe your media reports because that is what Rawalpindi is saying. Now tell me something new, sir.
Is not you tell me showing all the media reports. You are wrong. You don't have a clear picture of this situation.
You are yourself murderers. And you believe in false flag operations and blaming Pakistan. That is what you are.
What murder have I committed? What murder have I committed?
Ridiculous. You have killed Tanzil Ahmad who pointed out that Pathankot.
Sir, the use of the word. Sir, listen. This is the problem. This is the problem in Pakistan. Just one minute. No. I have to have a lighter note. On a lighter note. Gentlemen, 1 second. Maroof didn't call you murderers. I didn't call you murderers. Sheshadri Chari did not call you murderers. The word murderers was used from Islamabad by Group Captain Hali. So, Barrister Zahid Saeed and Ambassador Naqvi. So please, this is Pakistan versus Pakistan on the Newshour tonight.
Please use parliamentary language. Parliamentary language suits both you and
Sir, the
us.
Indians use parliamentary language. Sir, Indians use parliamentary language. In Pakistan, you use Rawalpindi English, and the less spoken about Rawalpindi English, the better. GD Bakshi.
I called you a marauder.
Okay, it sounded like murder. Anyway, go on.
Can we kindly have a recent debate?
GD Bakshi.
Arnab, I would like to state that our Pakistani interlocutors have been questioning our locus standi to express concern about what is happening in Pakistan. A nuclear-armed state going dysfunctional. Who has the nuclear trigger? Where is the Prime Minister? What is happening? Are your weapons going to fall into the hands of what is your nuclear weapons going to fall into the hands of this thing?
That is the real Indian
the weapons which you have are not safe. Your National Command Authority is in shambles. You are the most dangerous country on earth.
From the conference in Washington, Nawaz Sharif wasn't allowed to go there.
Okay, here's one thing.
Please, for God's sake, let's now get it. Please, Air Commodore, Group Captain, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Please.
What will you tell me? You are paranoid. You call Pakistan a rogue state. Clear your thoughts first.
Okay, gentlemen, let's debate this in a very.
But listen to me.
Let's debate this in a factual way.
Listen to me. I am trying to tell you that we approached the Prime Minister that you elected.
J.D. Bakshi,
who else do we talk to?
General on this. Don't try to pull rank. Don't try to pull rank on the show. You are just an interlocutor and
my dear fellow, I don't need to pull rank. I don't need to pull rank.
Don't raise it.
I'm just trying to tell you logic.
That's what you're trying to do.
I am giving you logic. Look, my dear fellow, I am asking you, who do we talk to in Pakistan but the Prime Minister that you elected? You elected Nawaz Sharif, all right? I feel sorry for you that you haven't known the decency of a democratic government. For 30 years you have been ruled directly by the army.
The question is, one second, gentlemen. Gentlemen, one second, gentlemen.
And now your army has become smart.
One second,
They
gentlemen.
want to put the civilians up front and rule from behind.
All right, cease fire now for a minute. One second. I get Abid Rao on one side and Sheshadri Chari on the other. You see, you must understand the rules of civilized engagement, Abid Rao, between essentially civilized countries. Now, you will yourself agree that the word civilized isn't quite an appropriate prefix in the context of your country. It may be one day. We all hope that one day will come when we can talk about a civilized Pakistan. Essentially, irrespective of the state of Pakistan today, the rules of civilized conduct means that there must be some continuity between different people heading the government. Now, till recently, you had a man in charge, puppet or whatever, puppet, gardener, whatever, called Nawaz Sharif, who said that I'm the Prime Minister of Pakistan. So, please talk to me. We were talking to him. Suddenly, this man disappears. वो क्या कहते हैं हिंदी में, रफू चक्कर हो जाते हैं. किसी को पता नहीं कि नवाज शरीफ क्या है, किस हालत में है, कहां है, क्या कर रहे हैं, भागे हुए हैं, कितने पैसे खाए वगैरह, किसी को पता नहीं. And then a bunch of amateurs takes over. Ambassador, listen to my narrative and then you please. A bunch of amateurs take over. Listen to my narrative. These bunch of amateurs, they decide that now that we are in government, every morning we will slam India, do one thing after the other. Now what they start, at one point these amateurs who take over start talking rubbish. Let me give you one example, Abid Rao. They say that India did not provide the black corner notice and samples of DNA tests of the 4 attackers in Pathankot. Listen to me. Okay. Now, if you are saying that India has not sought a black corner notice, you are lying. It was 80 days after Pathankot that the NIA sent photographs of the 4 attackers to Pakistan through a letter rogatory and approached the Interpol to issue a black corner notice for the identification of the other 2 terrorists. I mean, this is what we did. On DNA samples, if you're crying horse over DNA samples, don't forget that the JIT team, as per reports, was handed over DNA reports of the 4 terrorists and asked to match them with the family members of the terrorists in Pakistan. So you don't have excuses on that one too. The DNA matter is settled. In other words, you are getting your facts wrong. Now tell me, Abid Rao, if you can't see that white is white and black is black, and if you become colorblind, if you don't know what you're talking about, if you talk rubbish and put it out as press reports or official releases, if your High Commissioner is contradicted by your foreign ministry, not just India, every country will ask you, ho kya raha hai? Do you know what's going on in your country?
Okay, now
who is in charge? Who is in control, Abid Rao? Yes, Abid Rao. Yes, respond. Respond. Respond.
I'm concerned about the lack of trust that has developed. You proved my High Commissioner wrong by announcing a date. They were held to be held 15th January. Now today is 15th April. 3 months have passed and India has not given any date, any intention of secretary level meeting. And they're still working out the mechanism. What mechanism? I mean, it is a very low level talk. The issues are identified. The agendas have been discussed. There is nothing new in the problems between India and Pakistan. So prove our High Commissioner wrong. Let your foreign minister announce a date for
Sir, you
level
first
talk.
answer my question. You answer my question. No, Abid Rao, listen. Abid Rao, listen. Abid Rao, listen to me. Abid Rao, listen. Abid Rao, 1 minute. Abid Rao, listen.
Mr. Yadav comes
Abid Rao, listen.
Everything goes back 20 years.
Abid Rao, 1 minute. Abid Rao, 1 minute. 1 minute. No, Sheshadri Chari, one small comment I want to make to Abid Rao. Now, the point is, Abid Rao, even if you take the caretaker of Lahore Zoo and tell him that you start doing the diplomacy in Pakistan, I can assure you the caretaker of Lahore Zoo will make better informed comments than the ones that are coming out of Islamabad.
It is your fear of Pakistani armed forces, Arnab, that you keep talking everything against them. You leave Pakistan armed forces aside.
No, I'm talking about the caretaker of Lahore Zoo.
Air Marshal Saab,
Sheshadri Chari. Because we
don't have to
take pleasure in saying these adjective kind words against the armed forces of Pakistan.
I'm not saying anything. I didn't
if that pleases you, you be happy.
I would expect Air Marshal Abid Rao to be more logical.
Quickly respond.
Because let us do one thing. The High Commissioner's statement was not a surprise to us, because if the dates were not fixed, what the High Commissioner should have said,
sir, 15th January
if the date,
April.
Air Marshal Saab, listen, please. Taking your own point, I am letting you suggesting that if the dates were not fixed, what will the High Commissioner, a very seasoned diplomat, would say is, since the dates have not been fixed, we are waiting for the Foreign Office to tell us the dates. He did not say that. On the other hand, he went and said the talks have been suspended. Was he told that the talks have been suspended? No. And his own Foreign Office said the talks will continue and they are continuing.
No.
Actually, the problem, I'll tell you the problem is, it started with Nawaz Sharif telling the people of Pakistan that if you elect me, I will hold a hand of friendship to India. People believed him. They went ahead and elected him. Then we started dealing with him. We invited him for the swearing-in ceremony here. And the army punished him for that. In spite of that, he had the courage to come here.
That is not true.
And then UFA happened. UFA, you are forgetting UFA.
That's a wrong conclusion.
What happened was,
there are 3 years that he has passed.
Nawaz Sharif government agreed to talk to India on terror-related issues, your national security advisor was told, he developed cold feet and he was told to cancel the talks. The NSA level talks were cancelled by Pakistan. Go back to history. Therefore, you should remember one thing.
That is correct. In August last year.
Let us admit, we want to strengthen the political process in Pakistan. We want democracy to succeed in Pakistan. We want demilitarization of Pakistan. We want friendly relationship between both of us. In spite of that, your own representative in the United Nations goes to US War College and she openly says that India is not ready for talks, whereas it was your national security advisor who cancelled the talks.
Also Sheshadri Chari, Maroof, I'm coming to you now on a very the basic point tonight. You see, Maroof, what we have been confused, both you and I and most Indians have been confused, that the kind of language, statements, response, confusion, general, confused behavior coming out of Islamabad, is everything okay in Islamabad? Because they've been behaving in a very
strange... the political establishment doesn't exist there anymore.
No, I'll tell you one thing. Even a single citizen nation state would behave better in a more mature way than Pakistan. Now, Maroof, we have these weird comments. It's not India. Even Switzerland is today concerned about the way Pakistan is behaving. They are saying, for example, this bizarre comment, I don't know if you missed this one, Group Captain Hali. Ambassador, listen to this one. We condemn India for approaching the Interpol on Maulana Masood Azhar. I mean, do you respond like that? Maulana Masood Azhar is a terrorist belonging to the JEM, an organization that has been banned by India and something that India is seeking to have banned internationally. Any student of class 2 in Pakistan would know that therefore legally we have every right to approach the Interpol to seek a red corner notice against terrorists. I mean, this is a basic fact. But you are saying, releasing a statement saying we strongly condemn India for approaching the Interpol. It appears to me you don't know how global organizations work. And whoever is issuing these statements is either an illiterate, uneducated, badly informed or lacks experience in governance. And on all these counts, you see if the Pakistan army fits the bill. So you understand, I mean, you have all been people in some positions of authority in Pakistan. I mean, you don't behave and issue statements like this. Maroof.
Arnab, I just want to, in response to the point you've raised and 1 or 2 points that Mr. Chari raised earlier, and Air Marshal Abid Rao, who I have great respect for, I just want to bring out 3 quick points. Point 1, I think the Foreign Office in Delhi has done a masterstroke by taking the issue to Interpol. And as our ambassador to the UN Permanent Representative Akbaruddin has rightly cited that, because that was the only way forward when the Security Council members were generally in favor of sanctioning embargo against Masood Azhar and putting him against a UN watch list when China blocked the move not once but twice. So that was the only step. The second point is, there is an eminent Indian politician who's seen by many, and he's in the opposition parties, who's seen by many as the strongest apologist for Pakistan. But even he, in his earlier book on Pakistan, had said that the best bonding adhesive for Pakistan is anti-Indianism. And if he says that, I'm sure Pakistanis will agree that the people who in India, like me, who are seen to have a hard line on Pakistan, have no reason but to ignore that line. And the third thing which I want to bring out is that many Pakistanis will agree, and an eminent American observer on Pakistan has written it in a book to say that Benazir Bhutto, on a second occasion before being sworn in, was delayed the swearing in process for a week by the army till she conceded that matters like India, Afghanistan, China, US and nuclear issues will be outside her ambit. And that is the thumb rule by which Pakistani prime ministers are expected to operate. If they get into that space, they have to then run from Pakistan, as Nawaz Sharif is doing now, to save both his financial, political and personal capital.
So fact is, Ambassador Sarwar and Barrister Zahid Saeed, let me ask both of you, are you concerned that about, Nawaz Sharif's situation, that he is potentially, are you celebrating, concerned, are you happy the army has effectively taken over?
Concerned. We are not concerned because all your speculation, it is all speculation, it is all concocted and baseless. You have not made any point worth considering because you are just basing it on your prejudices against Pakistan.
Okay, so you're saying
what is happening is a process.
Who is under control?
No, who is in control in Pakistan? No, who is in control in Pakistan?
Who is issuing statement? Can the Prime Minister not issue a statement from London or Moscow or wherever he is?
The actual stability.
What prevents him from issuing a statement?
What statement?
You may not be concerned, but we are concerned, sir. We are concerned not only about all these things, but we are also concerned about the relationship that we are supposed to have. The Americans are concerned because they cannot leave Afghanistan into the hands of a confused Pakistan under a trigger-happy army generals. We do not know about the status of the your nuclear arsenal.
But you need not be concerned.
And don't count on the Chinese. Even they are confused. They have invested heavily in your infrastructure projects, and we have taken up this issue with the Chinese.
Arnab, can I come?
Overall, probably they may go back. And if you, in spite of all this, let me tell you, if you read today's information that has come out from the CIA headquarters, the 2000 papers have come out, and there is a very dangerous issue that they have taken up. And that is the attack on Camp Chapman. The Camp Chapman attack, which killed the Americans, was actually plotted in consonance with the ISI. And the Americans are now preparing to drop Pakistan like a hot potato. The moment Americans sign off with Pakistan, what happens to your army? What happens to your political establishment? And what happens to all the peace talks that we are having? And let me remind you, it is not just Pakistan, it is not just the question of what happens to your parliament or your political process. The most important element that happens is the humanitarian issue. Just 4 days back, the Pakistani army has heavily come down on
for God's sake.
Kashmiris in Pakistan occupied Kashmir.
Pakistan
the Sindhis are up in revolt because they are not getting water.
You have to tolerate
the Baluchis are revolting.
Wish us away. Don't talk about Baluchis.
The Afghanistan situation is turning very dangerous.
Pakistan you have to bear with.
So we are concerned.
Ugly or not,
we are deeply concerned. Even on a humanitarian consideration,
all over the world.
That is why we are worried, and we want the political establishment to be
Group Captain Hali, Group Captain Hali, we are concerned about Pakistan. You should be too about where Nawaz Sharif is, because I can assure you, you will not be covering yourself in glory by getting the tag of an international pest of a nation. You have to stabilize yourself at some point. Point number two, by the grace of God, by the grace of God Almighty, the people of Baluchistan will liberate themselves. Nawaz Sharif or no Nawaz Sharif. And this time the entire force of the people of India will be backing them. Point number three. Point number three.
For that, he has been apprehended. There are 400 other people apprehended.
And Khalistan
so
will
keep
be
sending ISI will do a damn good job.
Please.
Point number three. Point number three. Point number three. Point number three.
Point number three. We are coming.
Point number three.
India.
Point number three. You know, I don't know whether Nawaz Sharif should, at this age, be standing and queuing up outside Madame Tussauds and the London Zoo. I'm sure he's been to both places in the past. So you're going to have to go and find where your Prime Minister has disappeared. It's a strange situation. The people of India would like to share our sympathies with you.
Our problem, not yours.
You have our sympathies for having a runaway Prime Minister.
Have a very small train.
No, it is not your problem.
I hope you find him over the weekend.
Problem of the region.
I hope you find Nawaz Sharif over the weekend.
Respond to this.
Arnab,
and when you find him, when you find him, you can tell him where he went shopping in London.
You are talking shit.
Well, I will not abuse you. That's Rawalpindi English you are using. Thank you very much for joining me on debate number 1 on the Newshour tonight. Thank you.